I used Firefox for years, and last year I switched to Brave. And why is that? Well, I'm trying my best to not use software or even Linux distros that have a problem with me, who I am as a person, like my worldviews. What do I believe? That somehow my opinions and thoughts are toxic and should not be given space or room and should be deplatformed for some reason. These companies, foundations, people claim to be all loving and inclusive, yet somehow only welcome, accept, tolerate things that fall under the acceptable terms of their echo chamber. So I try not to use or buy things that are outspoken against me and my values. Why does everything have to be political now? Like even a Linux distro or a browser, for God's sakes. I miss 80s and 90s basketball. I miss going to the grocery store and buying something like a bottle of syrup without people judging me and thinking I'm somehow supporting activism with buying the wrong toothpaste. But back to the topic at hand, I don't understand Linux users that somehow uphold Firefox as this bastion of truth and privacy and amazeness. As if like it's somehow like He-Man versus Skeletor, and Skeletor is Chrome and Firefox is He-Man. It's good versus evil. Both are evil. Come on, people. I hope Ladybird's gonna be better, but right now the best option, I think, subjective, my opinion, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Shout me down in the comments. I think it's Brave. If you don't like the crypto component, don't use it. You can just hide it. If you don't like whatever, just hide it. I think it's the best browser we have right now. Ladybird, come on. Last point that I want to make before I go into the changes that Mozilla is making is Windows users complaining about this. It blows my mind. My mind is melting before my eyes. I don't understand. You are using a data mining operating system. You are the product. It's sending everything about you, everything that you do to Big Brother, and you were complaining about Firefox. Like, sorry, I have no words. Well, I had those words, but I have no more words. People, acceptable use policy. Here we go. You may not use any of Mozilla's services to do anything illegal. I hope most of us agree with that statement. We should not be doing illegal things. But my tiny, puny, peasant mind does not understand do anything illegal. I would think that includes anything illegal, because then they start talking about a bunch of stuff that's illegal. Like exploit or harm children, that is the most heinous thing that you can do and is illegal and is included in the first statement. Except you have this fringe minority people that talk about minor attracted persons. This world going me to. So let's start. Threaten, harass, or violate the privacy rights of others. Fine. Send unsolicited communications. What's that? Like a Twitter message, Facebook Messenger, email? It's pretty broad. Okay. Harm users such as by using viruses, spyware. Okay, all good. No problems there. I think most of these things are illegal. Deceive, mislead, defraud, phish, or commit or attempt to commit identity theft is illegal, people, at least in Iceland. Engage or promote illegal gambling. That's kind of like what's illegal in one country or state is not illegal everywhere. So I do not know how they're going to enforce this. Degrade, intimidate, incite violence against, or encourage prejudicial and French people group based on age, gender, race, ethnicity, national origin, religion, sexual orientation, disability, geographic location. Yeah, I hate people in Greenland. No, joking. Not at all. It was a joke. A joke, Firefox. That was probably illegal. So this is so super broad, but actually it's kind of funny because Linux distros, companies, and projects are saying, oh, we don't want to hire you if you're white, heterosexual, Christian, yada, 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 Asian, But I guess that's not a protected category at all. Sell, purchase, or advertise illegal or controlled products, services. Again, something that's illegal. It's illegal. Upload, download, transmit, display, or grant access to content that includes graphic depictions of sexuality or violence. Tell me in the comments down below, how are they going to enforce this without actually knowing everything that you're doing and then telling the authorities that you're watching John Wick #1 on Netflix? I have no idea. Collect or harvest personally identifiable information without permission. This includes, but it's not limited to, account names and email addresses. Do you smell the hypocrisy? Do you smell it? I smell it. Engage in any activity that interferes with or disrupts Mozilla's services or products, or our capability to harvest and sell your data to our own advertising company that we own, so we can data broker you around the world. Violates the copyright, trademarks, intellectual. Who cares about that? That is also illegal and included in the first statement. Violate any person's right of privacy or publicity. Smell it. The hypocrisy is stinging the nostrils. Now we're in the Mozilla privacy notice section, and Mozilla collects certain data. Okay, fine. Bunch of companies do that. And you might say, Armando, from Iceland, what is the big deal? Well, the big deal is if you've used Firefox for the last 20 years, their ethos, their promise was, we will never collect your data and we will never sell it. Now they're scrubbing their whole website. Frequently asked questions is being changed. They're removing anything about selling your data to advertisers, whatever. It's gone. So that is the big deal. They said, we promise we will not collect and sell your data, and now they're doing it. So let's do, in some instances, when ads are enabled on new tab, additional browsing data may also be processed locally on your device to measure the effectiveness of those ads. Such data will only be shared with Mozilla and or our advertising partners via our privacy preserving technologies on an aggregated and or de-identified basis. This is lawyerese fancy speak for just look into if you're interested in their privacy preserving technologies and or advertising partners that they own. They're data mining your stuff for LLMs for themselves to sell. It's not cool. Now, before we are done, let's jump back to the acceptable use policy. So let's look at something like incite violence. If you look at the history of the Mozilla leadership team for the last few years, what they have been donating towards, what they've been funding, and what they have not been funding, really tells us what incite violence means. Violence used to mean physical, actual violence. Now it just means words. So whatever I might type into Firefox, if I'm using Firefox, they might say that I'm inciting violence with my words. And because they're mining everything, clicks, everything that you put in, it's now under their license, which is crazy. So they might report me to the Icelandic police because I'm saying something that they don't agree with. And they say themselves now on their blog that Mozilla is a group of activists. I thought Mozilla was to be a free and open web. What happened? I think that summarizes my thoughts quickly and neatly in a package for you to consume. I could say so much more about this whole thing because I've been thinking about this for over a year now. I was even going to do a video on the Zen browser, used it for a couple weeks. I liked it. It's a beautiful wrapper around Firefox and it's quite interesting, but it only supports Firefox Sync, which I'm not going to touch with a 10-foot pole. So, but thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe. I would like some comments down below. Appreciate you guys. Until the next one, take care.